Welcome into Defeating the Curse. We are at NFL kickoff. It is the week of football. It is back. We are happy. It's the FPLP show, so you know you're going to get actual knowledgeable information. No offense, Joe or Steve. But yeah, football's back, baby.
You are excited, FP. I
I'm
haven't seen you this excited since last September.
Oh my goodness, just watching college football over the weekend. There's a couple exciting games, but just having real sports on TV. I have a new 85-inch TV and it's magnificent. I just want real sports. Now, all this enthusiasm that you're hearing, dead within 5 minutes of watching the Commanders, guaranteed.
At 1:30. At 1:30, it's gone.
Yeah, 1:30, I'll be done.
14-0 Jags. Yeah, they can book that. Let's talk about this team. I mean, obviously, I don't think we're going to talk about a single thing outside of the NFL. Probably a single thing outside of Washington, but this is our home stretch, right? This is where we shine. Let's go.
So we're doing week preview. Are we doing all the games, full slate of the games? We're not just doing Commanders heavy. We're doing NFL heavy. Right, so we're starting Thursday. It's Rams,
you can
Bills.
Say
right?
whatever you want. We're gonna just talk about the Commanders, and that's probably the end of the show.
We'll save what we think about Commanders, Jaguars to the end, but let's kind of run through the schedule and just kind of do like a pick'em league style.
How do you think Carson Wentz is gonna do?
Man, I just said we're gonna save that to the end, but I'll tell you what.
Let's go. Who's on Thursday night?
I'm just going to cut me off. All right. Thursday night is what? Bills, Rams, I believe.
What do you think? That's the Monday night game.
No, Monday night is Seahawks, Broncos. I don't know. I think it's a doubleheader. I don't know what the second one is. But Bills, Rams
probably pulled up the
I have it
NFL schedule before we started the show, but it's okay. Yeah, you're right. Bills, Rams.
You got to go Bills. 100%.
The big question to me is what's Stafford's elbow health going to be all season, right?
Apparently,
they say no limitations.
Yeah, no limitation.
But that's coach speak, right? Like
that's
the guy's been limited.
Curtis Samuel being ready.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit has ruined Stafford for the long run, right? Like, is noodle arm going to come back? What kind of damage is done to that elbow? I like what the Rams have done. Which is
that's your second team. That's the team that you root for once the Commanders.
Well, because they're the former Redskins, right? So I'm a big McVay fan. I'm a big Gruden fan. Like, I mean, if you've been listening to the show for 3 years, you know those are my guys.
Oh, that's right. Gruden is a QB coach consultant or something. He's not an actual coach.
Offensive consultant.
Consultant.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Jay, you want to come to LA and hook up with blonde chicks while you talk football? All right, I'm in.
He's McVay owes him a little bit, right? Because if McVay and Gruden weren't friends, McVay would have been head coach here, but McVay was never going to take that. So McVay probably owes him a little bit. Either way, it's so intriguing to me what the Rams have done, which is we don't care about draft picks. We're going to trade away ones and twos.
I mean, they're essentially NBA style free agency.
Yeah. But the one thing that hasn't been talked about the Rams is how good they've drafted in rounds 3 through 5. They've been solid there. They've picked up.
That's what McVay learned in Washington, apparently. But I'll tell you what, the headline that isn't getting as much attention as it should get, or maybe it is, but if it happened to anybody else on any other team, Aaron Donald essentially getting into the brawl during that joint practice and like not getting any sort of repercussions. Nothing from the Rams, nothing from the league, nothing. If it was anybody else that was like throwing helmets and fists at joint practice, it would be a huge headline. I'm sure we'll hear a little about it on Thursday and how nobody cares. But it's just
Aaron Donald's some news about that today. I'm gonna pull it up here.
If you win and you're all pro and you're MVP and you're whatever you need to be that Aaron Donald is, you're not gonna get in trouble.
NFL reportedly will consider taking over discipline for player misconduct in joint practices. So that sounds like a whole lot of we'll take care of it next year.
Yeah, next time it happens, because it won't be Aaron Donald again, we'll put our foot down. All right, moving on to the next game.
So who'd you pick? You picked the Bills?
I'm going Bills, yeah. I mean,
I think I'm going to go Bills too, just because I don't know Stafford's health.
It's not even that. I just think Josh Allen, as much as he shined last year, he's going to shine even more this year.
It's going to be a fun game, though. That's
It's
for
going to
sure.
be. I think it's going to be a very big offensive game. I'm not sure what the Rams have in the secondary, but definitely Bills. I think they're just an offensive powerhouse.
And they have Jalen Ramsey still.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some pieces there.
All right,
Let's move
next
on to
on
Saints
my
Falcons.
Saints Falcons. Okay, that's what you got up. All right. This is kind of a snooze fest for me. I don't think either team is really going to be worth watching this season. I would probably give it to Falcons. I'd probably give it to Falcons because the rookie unknown, Pitts is just solid at tight end. Who knows what Michael Thomas is going to look like on the Saints if he's ready.
Kamara suspended, right?
Kamara is suspended, I believe. Sean Payton's last season, or he's not there anymore? He's not there anymore.
He's not there. Dennis Allen is their coach now.
That's so.
Michael
the Saints
Thomas
the
is
Saints.
back though.
Jameis Winston
is their
Jameis
quarterback.
Winston.
Yeah.
I'm going Falcons on the. I think it's an upset, but I'm going Falcons.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Mariota does as the starter in Atlanta. Yeah, I don't know. This is generally a good game, but I just don't see that happening this year.
The Falcons'
I think
defense
these are
might
going
be
to be
bad enough to let Winston look good, kind of like how he did against us last season. I'm still taking Falcons. I think the Saints have too many unknowns, even though they have some playmakers. Michael Thomas coming back, but I mean the rest of that offense without Kamara, it's garbage offense.
I mean, what playmakers do the Falcons have? Kyle Pitts. Ridley's
Pitts,
out.
Cordell Patterson. He's like what a fatter older Debo at this point.
Yeah.
Or used.
I don't know. I'm gonna take the Saints in that one.
Okay.
But it's a toss-up. Bengals, Steelers. I think everyone's gonna take the Bengals there.
This is my game, though. This is my game. Mitch Trubisky just got named starter. I'm telling you.
I mean, is that really a surprise?
We're gonna have a podcast.
Quarterback.
End of
they
the
drafted
season.
a quarterback who's not ready.
Hold on.
Mason Rudolph is the number 2 guy.
We're gonna have a podcast end of the season about who had the better season: Carson Wentz with Washington, Baker Mayfield with Carolina, or Mitch Trubisky with Pittsburgh. I'm putting money that Mitch Trubisky has the best season of the 3 of them, just because of Mike Tomlin and his leadership.
Yeah, maybe. I'll still take Wentz though. Wentz, yeah. I mean, Wentz with 3 coaches, 3 different teams. Like, if you look at him as a quarterback, he's been consistent. Like, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been horrible.
He's the only quarterback that sniffed MVP talk, right? It doesn't matter how long ago it was. He's the only one that sniffed MVP talk.
Oh, he still has a winning record too, right? Like,
true.
I mean, I think the Indy, they were a game over 500, so it's still a winning record last year.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as Steelers Bengals 100%.
It's a snooze fest. It'll be on CBS, probably here locally, unless Baltimore plays at that time, which I don't think they do. All right, next up, we got Niners, Bears. I think everyone's going to pick the Niners in that one. Although, I don't think Trey Lance has got it.
I don't think he has it either, but the Bears are just so mismanaged. The Bears might be more
they might be a winless team
and terrible than Washington, right?
They might be a winless team.
Like they can't retain any of their talent. And I think they bet too big on Justin Fields.
Yeah, agreed.
Browns Panthers. That's an exciting one, right? That's the Baker comeback game. That's exciting.
So who are the Browns starting? They're starting Jacoby Brissett?
Yes.
I believe so.
And they have Amari Cooper. They still have the best running back tandem in the NFL.
I mean, they are still stacked on talent.
Honestly, I don't think you like obviously Watson is the best quarterback, but I don't think the offense as a whole truly falls off of Jacoby Brissett. I think they'll still be able to move the ball. They got some weapons.
They've got weapons. I don't think Jacoby Brissett's a good quarterback. I just don't think he's a bad quarterback.
Yeah, like I don't think
the Panthers,
he's the reason
the Panthers don't have any playmakers.
Correct. Well, again, so now we get to see how CMC does with Baker. I mean, CMC's good for one game. It's the first game. He'll be injured week 2, but as far as week one goes, he usually does the trick.
I mean, Panthers are going. Matt Ruler's going. No pitch count, no limitations for CMC, and it seems like they are going to take CMC to the ground. And when
Oh,
he falls
yeah,
off,
they're
he
just gonna
falls off.
break him.
Like they're not trying to save him for the season or any of that stuff. So
Nope. Also,
yeah.
Matt Rule just looks like a giant slob. Like I don't even
Well,
think he
you
knows
saw
that they're
the
playing this
coach's
Sunday.
picture from last year.
That's what I'm referencing to. Everybody's
Yeah.
all like prim and proper. Matt Rule looks like he rolled out of bed late for first period. Like, oh, mom, do I have to go? Like, he looks
Yeah.
awful.
Eagles, Lions. It sucks. Eagles have an easy win there.
I don't know, man. I'm on the
I
hard
think
knocks. I'm on the hard knocks chain. That team kind of brainwashed me through hard knocks. I think they might be formidable. They played tough last year. Don't look at the record, look at the actual games and kind of how close they were. They were a tough opponent, and I think with everything that we've seen on Hard Knocks and kind of DeAndre Swift and Amon-Ra St. whatever his name is, and I mean they
Armand
got
St.
some
Brown can speak
St.
3
Brown, yeah.
languages. I learned that today.
They got some playmakers, and Jared Goff is he elite? No, but I mean, again, is he going to be the
He's not
reason they
even
lose
decent.
the game? I don't think he's going to be the reason they lose the game.
I think the Eagles are going to be good this year. I'm taking the Eagles big in that one.
AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. I just don't think
Jalen Hurts is healthy.
I don't think Jalen Hurts has it.
Not as a thrower, but he certainly does as a runner.
Yeah, but how long is that going to last?
Yeah.
I'm wishing him
I
RG3
still take the Eagles big in that one, and it's
I'm
just so
going Lions.
Washington that the Eagles do well.
It's so Washington that they blow out the Lions and that the Lions beat us week 2.
Yeah. Ravens, Jets. I think that's a no-brainer. Zach Wilson may play on
might
Monday.
play, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
That's a no-brainer. Ravens all the way.
Although I will say there's rumors about how Russell Wilson's new contract screwed over Lamar Jackson. He might be a little salty if that payday didn't come before the game.
Yo, that payday is not coming for Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Book it here. LP said it. Baltimore is not giving Lamar Jackson a fully guaranteed contract because they know his limitations.
Do we try to get him next year?
I doubt it, but I mean,
I'm going to say that for any available quarterback.
Is he just a slightly better Jalen Hurts? I think so. Like, he cannot throw the ball. I mean, maybe I'm disrespecting him, but
I just don't think he's an offense where he has to show off his arm.
You think
or I just don't think he's in an offense where he has to show off his arm. Or it's just like RG3. The threat of the run makes receivers so wide open that it's almost impossible to suck at throwing the ball. Right?
All right, let's go Patriots, Dolphins. I think the Patriots are taking a step back, man, because who knows what their play calling situation is. I think it's the boy from the Giants who's calling run plays, and then Matt Patricia who's calling pass plays. Like, that's just going to be a disaster.
I told it to Joe last podcast. Bill Belichick is a bum. He's not a good coach. He was riding the coattails of Tom Brady, and I think he's in over his head. I think he's too old school for how the NFL is now, and you're going to witness the Patriots fall off because of Bill Belichick. Mac Jones is talented, sure, but they just can't hit on any talent, like offensive talent. They cannot do it. Tom Brady elevated everybody, and now they're going to be like, oh, crap, we actually have absolutely nobody. And it's Bill Belichick's fault. He's a bum.
Yeah, I mean, it was Brady, Wes Welker, and Julian Edelman, right? Sprinkle in Randy Moss here and there, and
Gronk here and there, yeah.
Speaking of old school, your boy Ron taking on another old school coach in Doug Peterson and the Jags. Are we gonna save this one for last?
Let's save that one for last because we're gonna have a lot to discuss.
Colts Texans.
Matt
Ryan
I'm going
for the Colts. Davis Mills for the Texans.
Is Matt Ryan a perfect replacement piece to Wentz? Do they have zero drop off from Wentz to Matt Ryan?
Or is Matt Ryan just the next generation Philip Rivers in Indy.
Here's the question I truly have about this game is Matt Ryan washed up? Or did he just not care anymore in Atlanta? Right? Are you going to get that Super Bowl Falcons versus Patriots Matt Ryan where he had a very good season? Or did he truly fall off a cliff, age caught up to him, and he's just terrible now? That's the question.
I mean,
I think when you have Jonathan Taylor and you have some of those other pieces, Matt Ryan doesn't have to do as much, and that defense is pretty stout. But
he's always had weapons in Atlanta.
he has. But he's always had a defense that did nothing for him, and now he has a defense that can get him the ball back or that can give him more opportunities. So, I mean, I think the Colts are a better run organization, so I'm giving them the win for that.
I'm giving the Colts the win too. Raiders, Chargers. That's going to be a fun one.
This one's actually kind of hard to decide.
I'm going Raiders. I think Devontae Adams back with Carr. They still have a good defense. They still have a good run game.
Yeah, Darren Waller. Yes.
Hunter Renfrow.
But also Josh McDaniels' first season, he kind of sucked when he was in Denver. Who knows what kind of offense it's going to look like? Who knows if it's going to click off game one? And then on the other side, the Chargers are good. Justin Herbert, he's that dude, right? Like they have a lot. Austin Eckler, or was it Austin Eckler? Yeah, right?
Yeah. They're good. Yeah. They just don't string wins together. That's their issue. Like they were good
but like
last year.
That was like the only thing they had to work on from last season to this season was don't melt down in the last 2 minutes of the fourth. Right? The team is there, the talent is there, the coaching's not terrible. This one's a toss-up, but I think I'm going Chargers. If it was in Las Vegas, I would go Raiders, but I'm going Chargers.
I'm going Raiders. All right, next up, Packers, Vikings. I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go. I don't know. I think the Packers take a major step back without Devontae Adams.
Yes.
I can see Kirk pulling off a win here.
I think the KOC, right? He's the coach now for Vikings.
Yep.
I think that offense is going to look completely different than a Mike Zimmer offense.
Well, Dalvin Cook being fully healthy too.
Dalvin Cook being healthy. Then they're Justin Jefferson. I think you're going to see like flashes of 4,000 yards Kirk and like a little bit of a you like that Kirk where he has kind of his confidence back because he's in an offense that's going to showcase him.
And it's a guy who likes him.
Yes. I mean Kirk's kind of a pansy and I think he needs that Ned Flanders pat on the back, you go get it attitude from his coach.
All right, Titans, Giants.
Titans.
I think everyone's going Titans here.
Yeah.
Chiefs, Cardinals.
I like how we didn't even dive into Giants, Titans.
Well, what does it even matter?
No, I mean, nothing. Yeah, Derrick Henry. It's the Derrick Henry show. That's all the entire game is. Chiefs, Cardinals is interesting. Chiefs, I don't think they take a step back losing Tyreek. I think you were saying that on our personal text when we were doing like NFL fantasy drafts and stuff. But I think Juju Smith-Schuster coming in, McCole Hardman is still there. They got what's his face from the Packers, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I think. Solid offense, honestly. I think the Cardinals they're tricky, right? Kyler Murray was kind of a crybaby during the offseason. Does he study the study book, or does he not study the playbook? D-Hop is suspended. He's not going to be there. It's interesting because I don't know. The Cardinals had such an epic meltdown towards the end of the season. It's interesting. Yeah, no, it's just going to be the Derrick Henry show.
I agree.
Chiefs, Cardinals. This one's a toss-up again for me. You and I were discussing it. I don't think the Chiefs really suffer the loss of Tyreek Hill. I think you still have Kelsey. Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a decent replacement. They took Marquez Valdes-Scantling from the Packers. McCole Hardman is still there. They still have a lot of weapons on that offense. And then Patrick Mahomes is just another year older, right? He'll hopefully make better moves. I don't think he starts as slow like he did last season. And the Cardinals
Is
kind of had a meltdown.
D-Hop's out, right? Still?
D-Hop's out 6 games, and I mean they just had a meltdown at the end of last season. And you have the whole Kyler Murray, does he study the playbook, does he not nonsense. So I would go
forgot about all
Chiefs.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Cardinals here. I just think there's a drop off with Tyreek Hill. Like Valdez Scantling, Juju's a good piece. He was there in Pittsburgh 2 years ago. He was like one of the best receivers in the league. So I think he's an upgrade. But yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be a fun game. That's a toss up too. And then the Sunday night game, the Bucks Cowboys.
That was the season starter last year, the Thursday night game, right? Yeah, that was the first game.
And who won that one?
Bucks won it just at the end.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Ooh,
man, I think I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I hate doing that, but I think I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I think Tom Brady's his age is gonna show.
No, I think.
And I drafted him in fantasy, and you know what that means.
I think Tom Brady. Everybody wants him to fall off that age cliff. I don't think it happens. Not in week 1. I'll say it might happen, not in week 1. And then you have Julio Jones, you have all the weapons, and then the Cowboys got a little bit weaker on the O-line. Zeke isn't the Zeke of old. And then you lose Amari Cooper and you just have CeeDee Lamb as your number 1 guy. CeeDee Lamb and Gallup.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot about losing Cooper. That's huge.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard's a good back. I think he's going to take over more carries than Zeke.
The biggest thing to mention is Mike McCarthy's just not a good coach, and I think he's going to be very easy to figure out.
Todd Bowles a good coach?
Because
I'm guessing he's under the wings of
Bruce Arians 2.0 at this point. Nothing's changed, and it's Tom Brady's the coach. I mean, it makes no difference. It's LeBron and the Lakers. It doesn't matter who the coach is.
I could just see it where Dallas wins, Eagles win, and then we lose. That's really the reason why I'm picking Dallas. Because if it can go against us, it will.
I mean, yeah, I can't argue that. It's 20 years of history there.
Yeah. Broncos Seahawks for the Monday night game. There's only one Monday night game this year. Usually there's a doubleheader on Monday night.
That's usually, I think, that's strange.
That is strange.
This one's easy. You definitely go Broncos, and it's just the excitement of seeing Russell walk into Seattle donning bright orange instead of lime green.
I don't know what Seattle's doing. I mean,
that's the worst.
I'm baffled at their QB decision.
Is Geno starting?
Geno is the starter.
That's awful.
I think he's the starter. I know they talked about it being open competition. I don't think he's actually named one yet, but all signs are pointing to Geno. And Geno is not.
Drew Lock has had COVID for like 9,000 years. Has he even taken like a snap with the ones?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why he's probably not starting.
Yeah, I mean, you got to feel bad.
Even with Drew Lock, I can't see them.
No.
I mean, I could just see DK getting annoyed, pissed off. Yeah. Pete Carroll's 76 years old. Yeah. The running back is back, though.
Who was the running back? Chris Carson or whatever?
No, I think Chris Carson retired. Neck injury.
Shad Penny?
DJ Dallas, and there's another guy.
They have like so many bum running backs. This is like a roster full of Antonio Gibsons.
Yeah, I mean, I see the Broncos winning that one, and that's in Seattle. So
it's gonna be a snooze, but I'll turn to the Eli and Peyton broadcast of it, so it'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm happy that Eli and Peyton are back.
All right, and then the big game to discuss for this show, Jags and Commanders.
Everyone's picking the Commanders, so I'm going to pick the Jags because that's generally what happens.
We need to discuss how there's just a 3-point spread.
Yeah, I mean, these are two bottom of the league teams, but
that's
like I showed you earlier today. Last year at this time, Power Rankings had Cincinnati as number 30. from number 30 all the way to the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not predicting that for the Commanders or the Jags, but that's really, I mean, preseason rankings are based on last year.
I'm gonna read a tweet that just came out, and it kind of has to do with Matt Ryan and the Colts, but also it has to do with Carson Wentz. But apparently, what's his name? Michael Pittman was talking about how the entire team is different with Matt Ryan at quarterback. He was like, last year we were out there basically just playing football. We would just run around, make plays. This year we're trying to be organized, be at our spots and our depths because that's how Matt likes it. And when you see something like that and you're thinking, are you telling me that Carson Wentz was a quarterback that didn't care about timing and routes and for his receivers to be in the correct position? Are you telling me that the Frank Reich or whatever just let Carson Wentz go out on the field and not command the offense and not be as particular as Matt Ryan? It's Carson Wentz gets such a bad knock for almost no, like, I don't understand why all this disrespect for Carson Wentz. He's not the one that lost to the Jaguars last year. I mean, the defense couldn't stop them, right? Yeah, he had a bad game. Yeah, he had COVID, but you're going to tell me that Carson Wentz is the sole purpose, the one absolute reason that the Colts didn't go and win the Super Bowl last year? It's kind of BS that so many people are against Carson Wentz.
It is BS, but Carson Wentz is the type of quarterback. He's an off-script quarterback. So the play, he holds onto the ball, the play breaks down, he scrambles a little bit, and makes that pass. And so that's kind of, I don't know. When you say that, I'm like, well, that's kind of good for Washington because we're not good at running routes other than Terry. We're not good at
our plays break down all the time. Heineke did what Heineke did because he had
because he's Heineke and does off-script plays. Yeah,
exactly.
And but when we try to stick Heineke to a playbook and try to stick him to, all right, this is your time, 3-step drop, 7 seconds goes, you throw the ball. He's not good.
I mean, listen, the tune of what I'm about to say is going to be completely different, probably by like week 5. But what would you prefer, right? Would you prefer Matt Ryan, a la Alex Smith, kind of dink and dunk if it's not there, throw it away, game manage? Or would you kind of want the risky hero ball play of Carson Wentz, a la Taylor Heineke, and you kind of have more of a shot, more of a chance, trust your playmakers? If Curtis Samuel is 100%, if Jahan Dotson is who we think he is, if Terry still does what Terry does, don't you want those guys to be able to make the play for you instead of just live for another down?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what we need in Washington.
Now, in week 5, I'll be furious at Carson Wentz. I just know it. I'll say, like, live for another down, throw the ball away, stop putting us in bad positions. I know this. But right now, I want the hero ball. I want us to air it out, to take the shots, to be risky, to be exciting. I don't want any more dink and dunk.
Yeah, I completely agree. We've had the dink and dunk, and it's not exciting. Although it got us wins with Alex, it was not exciting, and we all knew it was just a matter of time till it broke down.
That's not playoff football, right? Like, if you imagine
that's not what Mahomes does. That's not what Lamar Jackson does.
You look at Chiefs Bills last year. There was no dink and dunk. There was air it the F out and score. Who cares about defense? And that's how you get in the play. I mean, even Rams and Bucks last year. I mean, all those playoff games, it was just kind of throw caution to the wind and let your playmakers make plays. That's kind of how you.
That's where the NFL's going.
Playoffs. Yes.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, I think that is what is exciting about Washington this year, is because we can do that, right? With McKissick, with Jahan Dotson, with Terry McLaurin, like, these are all guys that can break a tackle off script and take it to the house, right? So I think that's what we need. I mean,
now when it comes to the Jaguars, though,
I think our defense is just
exactly.
We're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna be able to stop the Jags. I mean, I looked at the Jags' offensive depth chart today. They've got some playmakers like Travis Etienne coming back.
Etienne's coming back. Trevor Lawrence, you can't judge him based off last year at all.
They had like 5 receivers as starting receivers.
Right.
on their depth chart. What does that mean? Like they're going to spread the ball out. They're
Yep.
going to throw the ball a lot, and they're probably going to go deep, and they're going to do things that we probably haven't seen yet. Um, and it's Doug Peterson now, right? And that's kind of what he did in Philly.
Yeah, and Doug Peterson knows Wentz, right? He knows Wentz well. So he can be in the ear of his defensive coordinator and he can tell him certain things and he can tell him bring your pressure from the left, do your whatever you need to do, disguise coverage this way, and maybe it bites us in the ass. But also I don't think the issue is going to be the offense of the Commanders. It will 1000% be third down defense, weak linebackers. I mean, what did we do? We brought Bostic back. That was Ron Rivera's big offseason plan for linebacker. Wait through the waiver wires. We're gonna find somebody to bring in. It's John Bostic.
We're going to play
Ron
nickel
Rivera.
100% of the time. It's going to be two linebackers, and Bostic is listed behind Jamin Davis as a second outside linebacker, right? There's Cole Holcomb in the middle, David Mayo backing him up, and then Davis and Bostic. So,
But I mean, so all right,
Bostic
so
was good. He was
you play
fine, but
nickel, but then all of a sudden Etienne is
running up the gut.
running up the gut. I mean, this is the first time anybody's really seen him play because he missed all of last season, his rookie year. This is the first time anybody's going to see him. Who knows what kind of explosion he has or vision he has, and it's gonna screw us. And then
He's
all
going
of a
to gash
sudden,
us.
you're not in nickel. All of a sudden you're in a base 4-3, and our linebackers are going to get destroyed. And who knows what tight end they have on the Jaguars, but he'll probably look like a stud and be the number one waiver wire pickup in fantasy leagues. And it's just Jack Del Rio is going to be the downfall of week 1. And then we go into the Lions, and we're going to fall 0-2, and this podcast is going to change its tune very fast.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it really going either way. My heart is telling me that the Jaguars are going to win just because we've been upset so many times. But when I look at these rosters and I think about it from who's on the field, the players that are on the field, who's got a better team, I think it's the Commanders. But then when I also think about it from a coaching perspective, Ron always starts slow. Ron's record in September and October is not good across his total tenure here in Washington and in Carolina. So I just predict them starting slow again, and nothing in the preseason has changed my mind on that. We just always start slow.
If you
We
start
do some catch up
slow
in November, December, and then we're going to fall short once again.
If you start slow with the gift of the NFL giving us the Jaguars and the Lions,
Ron's not going to get fired. JDR is not going to get fired.
I can just see us end of season recap show. We're going to discuss how we were 8-9 or whatever the math is now. And we're going to be like, if only we didn't drop Jags and Lions, we would have been 11-7 or whatever. We would have been in the wild card. We would have faced a shitty Trey Lance and the Niners. We could have taken them. Like, that's just because we started slow against the Jaguars.
That is foreshadowing. That is exactly what's going to happen.
It's so frustrating.
Now that I love the Ryan Kerrigan pickup as the defensive line assistant coach.
That was a great pickup.
Now, hopefully, the first thing he does is say, no defensive end is going to be playing in coverage, right? I don't want to see Sweat try to cover a tight end. I don't want to see whoever is replacing Chase Young playing tight end or guarding the tight end. But the defensive line.
But the problem is Kerrigan also
good.
Kerrigan also had two moves, right? Bull rush yourself out of the play, which all our D linemen apparently love to do, or somehow miraculously swat the ball, intercept it, and run it in because at the 5-yard line.
Only against NFC East teams. I love Kerrigan, but
I love him too.
That's really the fact of his career, right? Like he just, I don't think it's a preparation thing. I don't, whatever reason it is, he just did better against NFC East teams.
I just want to see. I mean, look, we fired our defensive line coach. Great. I just want to see Sweat and Allen and Payne and whoever is the other end Just
be the defensive front that they're
give me a
supposed to be.
second. Give me a second move, right? Have something else in the repertoire where, okay, week one, you're amped up, you're on the field, you're gonna bull rush the first down. I get it. Have some discipline. Secure the edge. Lock your man up. Move the play inside to give your shitty linebackers an opportunity to make a play, right? If you lock the edge and the play moves inside, Cole Holcomb all of a sudden isn't getting burned chasing somebody, right? You have a chance to clean up the trash. That's football 101. But when your
Yeah,
edges
or a
rush
John
past
Allen
the
or a
play,
Deron Payne is crashing that inside,
exactly.
and
But
you get a sack.
when your edges just take the tackles, the offensive tackles, and just go 20 yards behind the play, very easy to dink and dunk against us.
Yep.
It all stems from our first round picks being disciplined. And I don't know what's happening JDR down, but it feels like something so easy to preach, right? You watch Micah Parsons, you watch even all these new rookies, the dude on the Lions, the second overall pick, they have like a repertoire of moves, right? Swim move, bull rush, dive, lean, like severe lean, like Von Miller. Like you have all these things. Our guys don't do that. They just run right past the play every single time. Oh,
Yeah.
missed the play.
And I think that's one of the things that really hampered Chase Young last year is he tried to do moves that he's not good at. If my point is, if you're good at one or two things and you're really good at it, then just do that, right?
No,
Get to the quarterback that way.
that was the problem of Chase. The problem with Chase is he only had
No,
two moves. He had stand with his hands on his hips until the very last second, and then try to get skinny and get in there. That doesn't work. You just push him right out. You just double him, chip him, whatever. Or he puts his head down and he bull rushes in. Those are the only two things Chase did, and it may have worked great in college, but you need to develop more. You
no,
can't be
he
predictable.
tried the stutter step and some finesse moves last year, and he just wasn't good at it. But
I think
anyways, let's throw last year out because it was a bad year for him and hope that he's learned. But he's not playing for the first 4 games. James Smith-Williams is listed as a starter. Shaka Toney as the second defensive end there. I mean, that's a weakness. James Smith-Williams was a 7th-round pick, and I think Shaka Toney was also a 7th-round pick. That's a weakness on the defensive line, right?
Well, speaking of weakness on the defense, we have to discuss Cam Curl and his thumb. Is he going? Is he going to be ready? Is he going to be able to do what he needs to do week one? I think
I
it
don't
sounded
think
like
we
he said
find
he was
out
going to
until
play.
Thursday, but he may play with a cast. He's not going to be near 100%.
No.
If he even plays, right?
Right, but then does Percy Butler go in? Who gets it over him?
Derek Forrest is listed as the
Great,
second string there.
great.
Yeah, but Percy Butler was supposed to be the Buffalo nickel or whatever it's called.
Landon Collins 2.0.
Yeah, I haven't seen him really much in all of preseason be impactful. I'd personally throw Jeremy Reeves out there because that guy plays with heart. He's on the roster for a reason.
I would go get Landon Collins off the couch.
Yeah.
How is that not a move that you've made, especially with Cam Curl being hurt?
Who knows what kind of shape Landon Collins is in? Is he done playing football?
I mean, knowing him, he's probably overweight.
Yeah. And still probably in DC doing his thing. So who's your? I mean, what's your prediction? Who's your pick?
It's week one, so the homer in me is still super high. So the homer pick is Commanders win, and it's going to be an ugly win. It's going to be like 17-14.
I think it's going to be a backbreaker, last minute. Jags drive down the field, kick the field goal. We lose because we had a missed field goal or a missed PAT earlier in the game. It's going to be something like that, right? The game was in our hands. We had it. The ball was dropped.
Yeah, or like Dax Milne is our starting return man. He drops it. We make the shift to Gibson. Gibson does well with it. But then if only we didn't have that one drop. It's going to be something along those lines.
I'd love to see what the line on Gibson, over under half a fumble.
I would say over under for yards, rushing yards. I'm going to say under 60.
Yeah, that's probably right.
For Gibson, not for the team. For Gibson.
Yeah, I mean, McKissick being back, that should help, right, with playmakers. But it'll be interesting to see what the workload McKissick gets. And then their third back is Jonathan Williams. Whatever.
I will say,
I
like,
think he's a 4-week running back.
I don't want to end the show super negative. So
But it's what happens. It's what happens in Washington.
Let's just dive into the fantasy of FP here. And this team comes out and effing rocks it. Let's just dive into that fantasy. And Carson Wentz comes out slinging the ball. Offense is moving. Terry has 85 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. We're up 28-0. We're freaking psyched. You and I are screaming like children, jumping up and down. The defense is making stops. Let's just pretend that that's what happens. And this team shuts everybody up. And we truly play to the potential that is on paper. That's what I want to end the show on. I want to end the show with that kind of positivity. 28-0 halftime, final score 56-3.
Yeah, I'm not going to live in your fantasy world, but I'd love it. But I've been a fan of this team for too long. Yeah, I don't know. What jerseys are we going to wear?
None. We never wear jerseys. As much
No,
as
no,
I'm
not
a homer,
us.
I'm
The team.
Oh.
Is it going to be the whites? I mean, that's the only ones that they've shown all year in preseason.
Is it at FedEx?
It is at FedEx.
I would imagine we're coming out. I imagine we're coming out burgundy. I hope it's not color rush. I hope it's burgundy on white. No, we saw burgundy on white in preseason.
Did we?
Yeah. I think it was against the Chiefs.
So if it's a home game, we wear whites, right?
Is that the rule?
I don't know. Is it a home game even? I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know. In high school, our home games, we wore colored uniforms. That was 20 years ago in high school. So.
And in high school, different rules. But I appreciate the little bit of knowledge there.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't matter. I'll be excited for whenever we do rock the black jerseys, though.
I think it's only going to be twice.
Yeah, it's going to be like our homecoming game and something. It's also weird how we have, like, homecoming games.
I think we're the only team in the NFL who does homecoming.
Yeah, and which is terrible because homecoming is supposed to be you line up a super easy victory, but we're always the super easy victor.
Well, homecoming is also supposed to be a high school thing. Do they even have homecoming in college? No.
I'm sure they do.
I don't think so.
Maybe not like a dance, but they have like all the veterans come back type thing, previous players.
Yeah.
Alumni weekend, I think is what it's called in college.
I'd love your fantasy to come true, but I think if this was a Jay Gruden team, it would be. But I just think that the Ron starting out slow.
You need to get your memory or your brain checked.
He always won the first week of the season.
Your Q-tips are going too far in your brain. No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't.
Look it up. He always won week 1, and then we go on a 6-game losing streak.
Oh, dude. We would always struggle week 1, and Chris Thompson would get hurt. And then we would always be like, if Chris Thompson didn't get hurt, we would have won.
Is Chris Thompson still in Jacksonville?
He might be a running back consultant. I don't know.
I think that staff was eradicated after your boy.
My boy.
Probably Dan's boy.
Dan's boy. Urban is 1,000% Dan's boy. If Urban is anywhere right now, he's on Lady Snyder yacht with Dan, laughing at the 13-hour deposition of Bruce Allen right now.
So what's going to happen with the deposition? Like, what's the past tense of deposition?
Depositioned? Depository?
Deposition. Snyder for 75 hours. Bruce Allen for 15 hours. Deposed. That's right.
Not depository.
Not suppository either.
Nothing's going to come of it.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Congress can't do anything.
But let's dive into FP's fantasy world again.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of nothing.
I would love to wake up tomorrow morning and you find out that Bruce Allen burned the effing bridge, threw a torch, and was like, F it, I'm rich, I don't care anymore, I'm taking it all down. What's gonna happen?
I think he would cancel himself too.
Let him get he's probably already he's like 60% canceled just by default.
That's true.
What does he care? His money's not going anywhere. He's not in the public eye anymore.
Well, what if he gets sued? Personally.
Well, I'm sure that he has a briefcase or a closet full of papers, pay stubs, receipts, documents, forged books, whatever, where anything that comes his way, they settle out of court, he turns it over, and everybody just goes away.
Dude, I think it's like hundreds of people who would sue him. Hundreds of women who would sue him. I mean, think about some of the shit he did.
Double jeopardy. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Maybe if he fixes one, he can't get in trouble again. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy.
All right.
I think
that's it.
I think that's it for week 1. You got our
Thursday
picks.
night, baby.
Thursday night. Season starts. Let's go. What do we got? Let's go Bucks. Let's go Titans, and let's go. Who do the Eagles play?
Is this some broadcast parlay that you're betting right now? What's going on?
Betting against the NFC East.
Except Washington. Got it. Let's go Lions then.
Lions. That's not happening.
Lions, Titans, and Bucks. I'm telling you, man. Turn on Hard Knocks right after this season finale. You're gonna be like, "Yep, Lions are gonna win. Yep, Lions are gonna beat the Commanders."
Okay, that's your sleeper pick for the week or for week 2. What are you talking about?
No. Ooh, sleeper pick for week 1. Steelers over Bengals. That's my sleeper pick for week 1. I think the Bengals are riding too high. I think they get humbled.
My sleeper pick would be Dolphins over the Patriots.
That's not a sleeper pick.
How is that not a sleeper?
Patriots are trash.
It's the Dolphins.
Patriots are trash.
Okay, then I'll go Vikings over Packers.
I guess that's technically a sleeper pick, but okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick a shitty team to win.
You're just a Kirk Homer.
I am. That I am. I wish we had him.
Me too, man. That's for another show.
FP, this has been fun for all our listeners. Find us on Defeating the Curse on Twitter, Defeat the Curse everywhere else on all your podcast platforms. This has been fun. We are out.